I rise also to support the member for Parramatta's motion that acknowledges the bicentenary of Catholic education in this country. Catholic schools have educated millions, as is in the member's motion, of Australians over the past 200 years, and today Catholic schools are one of the largest providers of schooling in Australia, second only, I think, to government schools. I think Catholic schools educate about 1 in 5 Australian school-aged children. I also wanted to note that the National Mass was celebrated simultaneously across Australia on the Feast of Our Lady, Help of Christians, on Monday the 24th of May, to mark the bicentenary of Catholic education in Australia. National Catholic Education Executive Director Jacinta Collins said that the National Mass was a highlight of the bicentenary year and went on to say that as a faith community, our National Mass to celebrate 200 years of Catholic education holds significant meaning. I think the member for Parramatta and the member for Barara have touched on the scale of education, Catholic education in Australia. It's quite unique in the world in terms of the service that it provides. I think we serve at the present period of time with the Catholic education sector, serves over 770,000 students, employs over 100,000 staff in about roughly 1,800 schools. The chair of the Bishops' Commission for Catholic Education, Archbishop of Sydney, Anthony Fisher, said the bicentenary of Catholic education in Australia invites us to remember the past with gratitude, be inspired by that story in the present, and look forward with faith into the future. He also said that after 2 centuries of service, we in the Catholic education are determined to make an even greater contribution to the lives of our young people, families, church and society, and he welcomes and commended basically congratulated the Catholic education sector for its birthday for 200 years. Archbishop of Melbourne Peter Comensoli led a celebration of Mass with more than 600 Catholic school students and teachers at St Patrick's Cathedral. One thing to note, and others have mentioned about the Catholic schools and their constituency, in my electorate of Holt we have 7 wonderful Catholic schools that have delivered a profound contribution to our local community. These schools, St Agatha's School in Cranbourne, St Francis de Sales Catholic Primary School in Lynbrook, St Kevin's School in Hampton Park, St Peter's College in Cranbourne and Cranbourne East, St Teresa's School in Cranbourne North, St Thomas the Apostle School in Cranbourne East, and the Trinity Catholic Primary School in Narre Warren South. I think there was some comment that was made about not only the presence of the schools and the education that they provide students, but also the community good that's done by having these schools in our region, which I would completely agree with. As someone who went through the Catholic education system as a student at Christian Brothers College, both in Kalgoorlie, in the sort of far-flung regions of Western Australia, and also in Adelaide, I was fairly uniquely placed to I think the brothers and the poor teachers that had to teach me thought they were uniquely placed as well. But I can only say, having been through that and put our 2 children through the schooling system, that we're very pleased that it served the purpose for which we sent, and I think my parents would have sent me, which was a faith-based, values-based education system that offers a comprehensive environment to develop a total person, not just educate a person in terms of education. I also wanted to say, as I said, particularly when I went to the Christian Brothers College in Adelaide, in the 70s it was a tough period of time economically in Australia and in South Australia. And I think one of the things I wanted to acknowledge before I move on to the particular story I wanted to tell was what also, if you look at the diversity of people that actually attend Catholic schooling, I think that's a misnomer, something that's not fully appreciated by the community generally, which is when my children went to St Paul the Apostle South, there were children from 70 different nationalities that attended that school. And that's at schools in my region, that would be the same as well or more, that there are people from every corner of the globe that actually come and participate in the Catholic education system. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And particularly with some of the churches, I note in particular St Thomas the Apostle in Cranbourne East is particularly that with the Sri Lankan community. The last point I wanted to make was, as I was talking in the 70s that there were economically difficult circumstances, my mother, we were a single family then, could not afford to pay the school fees. So I went as a 14-year-old, I went and spoke to the principal of Christian Brothers College, a very formidable brother called Brother McCapian, and basically said we couldn't do it. As a consequence of that conversation, I was awarded a scholarship then and there on the spot, and I was able to attend school without having to pay fees. There's a lot of work that's done by that, and I certainly wanted to thank the Christian Brothers College for that. And just remember those people that can't afford the fees that get taken care of.